Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to a full market scan brought to you by FTX. If you don't have a FTX account, then use the link in the description below and you'll receive 10% off your trading fees. Now I know Craig normally sits in and does these scans, but he presented at a crypto conference over the weekend, and I think he's a bit knackered from that. So I'll be filling in for today. If anyone did manage to catch Craig at the conference, let me know in the chat. So let's have a look at Bitcoin on this weekly chart. Now, although we have had consecutive days of buying, so 4 consecutive weeks of bullish momentum, it's really just pushing us back up into this cradle zone in the weekly chart. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see maybe one more week of buying and then possibly a bearish candle in that cradle zone. I hope it doesn't happen for all of those people that do hold Bitcoin long term, but there's just the sentiment isn't there for us to go, to all-time highs, and we do have this lurking support resistance level through here. So yeah, a push up into around that area and possibly a leg back down. Failing that, we could see some continued buying push through that level. So only time will tell. If we have a look at the daily chart, we do have a nice daily trend. But one thing to note about this daily trend is that this high has only just broken this high. So it looks like Bitcoin is running out of momentum, which is an important point to note, I say. We do need, if we did see a further pullback into that cradle zone on this daily chart, I probably wouldn't take it just because it hasn't broken the previous high by enough. The MACD does still look good, but there isn't really any trades there for me on Bitcoin at the moment. Hey mate, so you did make the conference. How was it? Was it good? Throughout the scan, I will have the daily chart and the 4-hour chart open. 4-hour on the right, daily on the left, and I'll be mainly focusing on these daily charts, looking for trends, because throughout the scan that I did this morning, the lower time frame, there's just no trends. There's beginning to look messy like this on this 4-hour time frame on 1 inch. So I'll be focusing on these dailies. I won't be trading the lower time frames unless something really good presents. I'll be waiting for these dailies to set up. So nothing really here on 1 inch. We do need a pullback into that cradle zone, and as you can see, the 4-hour is just sideways, so we can skip that. AVE, again, we've had that nice pullback, failed to break this previous high, so we do need to see some follow through on AVE before anything presents, and no real trend on this 4-hour time frame. For those wondering why I've got the 4-hour time frame, so the 4-hour gives you, I can look at the 4-hour time frame and sort of understand what the other time frames are going to look like. That's why the floor is open. So anything lower, if I look at the 1 hour, say, you can see that there's no real trend there. Yeah, it's sideways. The 4 hour says that, and the 12-hour as well is just messy. Okay, so we're trend traders, and the cradle strategy requires good trends. And if there is no trends on those time frames, we just skip them. Nothing there on ADA. The daily is very messy. There are some nice daily trends out there, and we'll get to them in a second. So Adventure Gold, same thing, just crab walking up on this daily time frame. The 4-hour, very messy. So definitely worth the $10 just to meet him. The conference is pretty good. Staring at the struggle street. You took $20 worth of pens. Yeah, nice. You've got to get your money's worth, right? Was there any other good speakers there? I heard Craig actually did pretty well compared to some of the other speakers. Alchemex, nice push higher. That means we can look lower. We do have a bit of a trend here on the 4-hour, but yeah, it's not really tradable. We need a pullback. Algorand, not the best looking daily trend, but a trend nonetheless. Yeah, nothing there. Look, we'll just be focusing on really good trends, especially on this daily time frame. Nothing there on Alice. So if I do skip, or you want me to focus on something for a little bit longer, just let me know in the comments. Alpha, nice push higher, pullback. hoping for a deeper pullback on the daily time frame. Let's have a look at the 12. Did we get that? No, we didn't. If we look lower, we can see that there's no trend. It's just very, very messy. So that's not for me. So nothing there on alpha, alt perp. Now alt perp, I just want to note the level that was through here, test, 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 and then we had a nice pullback onto that level, bullish candle, boom, we took off. That's what we like to call a break and retest with the cradle strategy. Break out of a support resistance level, pull back to that level and take off. I love those trades, and altcoin did present that. We can delete that level. We're nowhere near that at the moment. But yeah, nothing there on altcoin. We just need a pullback into that cradle zone. If we do get that, the 2-day does look good as well. So that may present, we do need to see a few consecutive days of selling off before we're back into that cradle zone. So nothing there on altcoin at the moment. Ampleforth, just a twin towers, really big buying candle, big selling candle. We don't want to trade that. Anchor, nothing there. Apecoin was looking good. It was trending quite well. It's just looking like it's running out of steam, and the 4 hours giving us nothing. If you have done the courses and you know what a breakout strategy is, there are some opportunities for breakouts on those lower time frames. I think if you are in the community, Lou has posted a few of those. But unfortunately, through these scans, we can only focus on the cradle strategy. So there was a lawyer there as well. Some of the NFT boys did really, nice. It would have been interesting to see what the NFT guys had to say. I've been diving into some NFTs lately, just trying to diversify my investment portfolio and have some exposure to NFTs. Arweave looking nice on that daily trend. I think the 2-day is probably going to look better. Yeah, but the 4-day won't have moving averages in the right order. So we can skip that, but we do have a daily trend, so that means we can look lower. Unfortunately, this 4-hour time frame is messy, and all other time frames as well, so we can skip that. ASD, very thin, very messy, very wicky. We do not want to trade that. Atlas was looking good. Atlas has done what some of the other tokens are looking like doing, just running out of steam, creating a lower high, and then potentially moving lower. We don't want to trade that. Atom, another one, did have a high, but only just looks like it's running out of steam. But we have had a pullback, and if we do close bullish here, then that means we've just got a sideways trend and nothing there for us to trade. We can look lower, but this 4-hour is just telling us don't even bother. Audio, very, very sideways. Now AVAX was looking good as well. It's just created that lower high. Unfortunately, there are a handful of those throughout the FTX list at the moment where we do have lower highs. So that's keeping us out of any long trades. Our only option for these would be to focus on those lower time frames for shorts, possibly breakouts. Axie had a really nice weekend. It's looking a bit choppy though. 4 out, let's have a look at the 12. It's gone from low to high, so there's nothing there for us on Axie. Badger was one I had in the list from this morning. It was the 12-hour, I believe, pulling back into that cradle zone on the 12-hour. But depending on how you like to trade, you could argue that that was a low to high. Let's have a look at the daily. The daily trend does look really nice. So higher high, higher low, pushed higher, pulling back. The wicks aren't the best, but Badger is potentially an option. I would have liked to see a further sell-off back into that cradle zone a little bit deeper, but for some of you, you may like to trade that. Balancer on this daily. Bit of a messy chart, and the 4 hours giving us nothing as well. Band as well. We've got a level through here. Let's have a look lower at the 12. Yeah, nothing really there on the 12. For us at the moment anyway, that will be a few days away, I'd say, if that does set up. What is the lowest time frame you would look at to enter a trade? Look, it's depending on the strategies and depending on the market conditions. So if the markets are moving quite quickly, I'm very open to going down to the 1 hour, potentially the 30-minute, but I don't like trading anything lower than the 1 hour. And even the 1 hour is very rare. The markets have to be moving, and I generally like to trade a breakout strategy in line with the cradle strategy as well. On those lower time frames, they're my most profitable trades. But yeah, it really depends on your trading style. If you want to trade those lower time frames, you need to spend a lot of time looking at charts and doing the scans. And unfortunately, I don't really have the time to do that. So I like to focus on the daily down to about the 4 hour. They're my sweet spot for trading. Bitcoin Cash is looking really nice on that daily chart. Nice trend. We can have a look at the 2-day needs a little bit of work. Let's have a look lower at the 12. Nice pullback, but we've gone from low to high, so we can skip Bitcoin Cash. It's not giving us what we want. BitPerp, nothing there. BNB. Now BNB, this trend is looking fantastic. Lower low, lower high, lower low, pushed higher. We need that pullback into the cradle zone. If we don't get that, we need to focus on these lower time frames. Pull this side. And we don't have that. So we want to be trading in the direction of the daily. At the moment, we've just got bearish momentum. So we need a little bit more work to happen on BNB. But we can keep it in the list because if we do get a nice pullback into that cradle zone, the 2-day marries up, we could potentially get a nice cradle option there. Bancor, the trend's a bit messy. Really nice trend here. This 4 hour is indicating we've got a lower high there on the 4 hour, so that is indicating that we may see some further selling off on Bobber, pushing us back down into that cradle zone. So that could potentially be an option on this daily time frame if we do get a nice pullback. But that won't be until, say, Wednesday. Nothing there on Brazilian. That's very thinly traded. BSV is a mess. We don't want to trade that. Bitcoin, we already spoke about Bitcoin. BTT, too thin to trade. And the way you can see if they're thin is look at these lower time frames. If they're very wicky, very blocky, depending on your capital size, you don't really want to be trading these. You may get entered here and then stopped out and then pushed higher. It's just trying to fill those order books, and it's not great tokens to trade. C98. Bouncing off this support level, we need it to break out. If we do see a move higher, we need it to break out, say, around this range here where we've tested a few times. So at the moment, we're just ranging. So we need to break higher or lower on C98. Cake is looking really good. We've had a nice, strong weekend. Nothing here on the 4. As you can see, if I make this 4 hour time frame a little larger, this is not what you want to see. This is just sideways momentum where the buyers and sellers are fighting. We're trying to decide which way we're going to go. We want to steer clear of that because we're trend traders. So Cake, we need to see a nice pullback into that cradle zone. Cello needs to push a little bit higher before we have anything. Let's have a look at this 8 hour time frame. No, there's no trend there. That's not a pullback. 4 hour, 2 hour. Yeah, nothing there for us. Celsius, very, very messy. I'll be steering clear of that. Chromia, a nice looking trend there, but it does need to push higher. Nothing there on the 4 hour. Chili's. Nothing there on Chili's. Clover. Nothing there. So we're focusing on these daily time frames, looking for really nice trends. That needs to push on. Ooh, CRV. Again, barely broken the previous high. It looks like it's running out of steam and the MACD is divergent. That's not a good sign for CRV. Civic needs to break out of this level before I'll be looking for any long trades. CVX, same thing, needs to break that previous high. Dash, we've got a level through here and does need to break out of that level. At the moment, it's just sideways. I think last week was the week for trades. If you did get any trades, let me know in the questions box. There were a few really nice daily trades that the community took. DeFi, higher, higher, low, higher, high. We need that pullback into that cradle zone. Nothing there for us today. The 4 hour is sideways, so we do need that to sell off back into that cradle zone, give us a daily option. Nothing there on Dent. Dodo, no thank you. Doge, even though I think Elon Musk is still holding his bag of Doge, the price action is doing nothing. Dot has had a really nice day. Weekend. It's looking not too bad on the daily. Let's have a look lower on the 4 hour time frame. Did get a nice pullback. Let's have a look lower. Yeah, it's just getting messy, isn't it? Nothing there for us on Dot, unfortunately. Dragon. A little bit of a level through here. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Pull back in and around that level. Is there a round number as well? No. If that was a round number, that would be fantastic. Not an exact level. I understand that it's wicked through here a couple of times, but a pull back to that level would be something to watch. But that won't be until Wednesday, if it does happen. DYDX. Put that back on the 4. The daily is looking quite strong. This is one I'd be happy to focus on these lower time frames, just because it does look like it's got momentum to the upside. But unfortunately, there's nothing there on that 4 hour, so we can skip that. Elrond, nothing there, just very sideways. Engine needs to break out and do something before it presents any options. ENS, or Ethereum Name Service, did have a few good days. We do have a level through here, so a pull back to that level. Nice bullish candle, similar to what I showed you before. Nice bullish candle off that level would be something I would want to know about, so I'll keep that level in there, but that's, yeah, nothing there for us today. Again, that will be later this week if they do present. EOS. Now, I was looking at EOS. It does look like it's got a bit of a trend there on the 4 hour, but if you've done the Cradle course, you know what the MACD is looking like, and it's looking very divergent, so we can skip that. Ethereum Classic just has had a really good run. We need that pullback. We don't have it, so we can skip Ethereum. Another one that's looking quite strong, but it does, yeah, it's just barely broken that previous high. We do need that to pull back or move on. Exchange Perp, another one with a nice level through there. Later this week, if we do see some further selling off back to that level, we could have a few nice daily options to the long side. Can I quickly show you how I synced the crosshairs on both charts? I honestly cannot remember how I did that. I think, let's have a quick look. Where was it? Let me get back to you on that. I can't remember how I did that, but it is very handy. File per 10% today. Off to the races. Let's have a look at these lower time frames. Are we seeing any trend? Nothing there on the 15. I mean, there's the 1 hour. Does need to push higher. Bit of a trend there. The 2 hour. 2 hours there as well. Filecoin could be an option. This 1 hour time frame, if we do see some further buying and a pullback on that 1 hour, I'll throw that in the list. So chart settings, I don't know why that's not working. Okay, my settings don't seem to want to work on TradingView at the moment. FLM, yeah, nothing there. Flow, I believe flow is pretty thin. Phantom, bit of a messy daily trend, so we can skip that. FTT does look quite nice on this daily. 4 out, no thanks. Nothing there on the lower time frames. But yeah, a pullback into that cradle zone. The MACD looks good as well. I'll want to know about it. But that won't be today. That will be a few days. FXS does have a nice trend here on the 4 hour time frame. Let's have a look at the 8. Does that back it up? We do have an 8 hour trend. Alright, we can throw that in the list. It's already in the list from this morning's scan, but yeah, we do have a nice trend on FXS, and the daily backs that up as well. We've got a nice strong daily trend. That's what we want to see. Gala, no thank you, very wiki. Galaxy project, let's open this. The 2 hours looking better. Beginning to look weak. The MACD doesn't look good either, and that's too big, so there's nothing there for us on Galaxy Perp. Moonbeam, no thank you. GMT, no thanks, it's very sideways on that daily. Alright, glad you got that sorted. GRT, looking nice on this daily trend. We do need that pullback. We have a level through here as well. Is it a round number? 0.12. Yeah, a nice pullback onto that level later this week could potentially present an option. So if you are following along and creating a watch list for later this week, if you are that type of trader, yeah, throw this one in the list. Nothing there. Hedera. Ooh. Let's have a look at this 4 hour time frame. Two potentially. No, I think we can skip that. There's better trends out there than that. Nothing there on HNT Holy. Needs to push higher before we're interested. Whole low. Let's have a look at the 2 hour. Yeah, nothing there. Nothing there. ICP is moving. Would I be interested if we had a nice pullback on this 4 hour time frame? Let's have a look at the 8. No, probably not. Probably not. I would not be interested. We can skip that ICX. I think I'd like to see it move on a little bit further. It's only the second biggest box you can select. Immutable X. Got a little bit of a level through here. Fortunately, it's not off a round number. And it's low to high, so we'll keep that out of the list. It's not trending. Nothing IOST IOTA. Nope, no thank you. Nothing there on Jasmine Carver. Needs to push on. It's just sideways kilo. God, that's a huge candle. How big is that? Bottom. 100% move. This is why you set your take profits. Kilo Shiba. Yeah, nothing there for us. Cobb. Oh, that is a nice looking trend. So we may potentially have a level through here. Ooh. Unfortunately, I thought it would be a 1.5 round number. It's not. But it's a level nonetheless. Let's have a look lower, the 4 hour. Let's see how it's respected this level. Rejection, rejection. It hasn't spent much time above it there. And it looks like it's rejecting off that level now. Let's have a look lower. Higher, sorry. Unfortunately, we've gone low to high there. So it's this daily time frame that we're after on Kyber. Higher, high, higher, low. We have broken the previous high. Back onto that level. I mean, it's probably not giving us anything on these daily in the 16-hour time frames because we're going from low to high, but one that I would potentially be open to a long trade on, say, these lower time frames, just because it is marrying up with that daily time frame, and it's bouncing off a level. So will I throw it in the list? I don't think I will. Let's just see how it reacts to this level. Unfortunately, it was low to high, so therefore not giving us a textbook trend. So we have to skip it. KSM. Yeah, nothing there. KSO. Let's have a look lower. Nothing there for us. Leo, no thanks. Lena. Love to see something similar to Lena, where we've got a level through here, we've tested, broke out, pulled back to that level and moved higher. We're not really getting that at the moment. Link, no, it's a little bit messy. Looks very sideways. LRC, no thank you. Litecoin. Another one with a rough level through here. There's a lot more work to do though. It's not the prettiest of trends. Nothing there on Mana. Maps, nope. Matic. No thank you. Just seeing if there was a level there on that 4-hour time frame to the downside. There wasn't. Mid perp. Have a level through there. A pullback to that level would be nice. Keep it in the list for that reason. Yeah, the 4-hour doesn't look good. Yeah, it's definitely this daily time frame that we're focusing on. The lower you go, the more messy they get. So we need that pullback onto that level. Mina, no thanks. Maker. A little bit of a level through there, but I think there's better ones out there for us. Mango, no thanks. Mobile coin looks very thin, so we can skip that. Metal looks like it's stuck in a range. MVDA. I think so. MVDA is one. Yeah, this is what we want to see on the previous ones. Is a test of a level, push up, break out, nice bullish candle off that level. I understand this probably isn't the prettiest of cradle trades out there. This pullback is a little bit ugly, but I'm sure you get the gist of what we're after here. Let's have a look lower on MVDA, nothing there. Nothing there. Does the price of the contract you're looking at affect your thought on trading it, or would it be more the volume? It's more the volume. I don't care about the price of the contract, to be honest. As a trader, you just watch the charts and do what the charts are telling you to do. Bitcoin could be at $80,000 for the first time ever. If it's trending nicely on the daily time frame, and we get a nice pullback into that cradle zone, I'm taking that long trade. I don't care if it's the all-time high and everyone's talking about how we need a pullback or it's going to drop. If the charts are telling you to go long, you need to go long. Near perp, we've got a nice level through there. We just need to break out of that before we get anything. Neo, nope. OKB, looking strong on that daily, but nothing lower. OMG. Well, we do need to see a nice pullback into that cradle zone before we get anything. Yeah, unfortunately, it might be a bit of a quiet day for trading the cradle strategy today. We'll just be waiting on those pullbacks into the daily cradle zone. Optimism has had a great weekend. I think that's up almost 100%. Yeah, it would be over 100% the last few days. So well done to anyone that holds that long term. Nothing there on oxygen. How about a coin that has 0.000123 as a price? Yep, I'd definitely trade that as well. That just generally, if they're a perp contract and they've got such a low price like that, there's just more tokens in circulation, and you times the number by the amount of tokens there are by the price, and that will give you the total market cap. So generally, yeah, if they're a perp contract, they're pretty good to trade. I know there's a few thin ones in there, but yeah, generally they're pretty good to trade. FTX have been pretty good with selecting the tokens that they put on their platform. People, again, bit of a level through there. I know we don't really trade levels, but there's a level there. Push up, pull back to that level on this 4-hour time frame. High, 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 low, pushed up. Yeah, we can throw that in. I want to know about that if we get a nice pullback. Perp, nope, needs to move. Plus, nope. Priv perp or privacy perp, we need that pullback into the cradle zone. Looking weak on that 4-hour time frame as well. So, oh geez. Pundi X. It's had a huge day. How big is that candle? 112%. Only in crypto do you see moves of over 100%. That is huge. Unfortunately, there'll be nothing there for us to trade on Pundi. Qtum. Do have a nice bullish candle in that cradle zone. Is the trend there though? I mean, the trend. Trend is there. If it was off a level, I would be more interested. It's probably a bit of a level through here. Yeah, I think we can skip that. There's better ones out there. Radium, nice level there. If you know what a breakout is, that's what we're watching there. Nothing there on Reef, Ren. Yeah, no worries, mate. Ren. Nothing there. Render. Could potentially get a pullback on that 4-hour time frame, but it's a little overextended for me. Ronin, another one. Test, breakout, pullback. Although it's red, it's still a bullish candle, off a level, shot higher. Nothing there. Rose. Do I stay up? I try not to stay up, so I'll do I do my scans at 9 a.m, 1 p.m, and around 5 p.m. Generally in line with the 4-hour time frame. Depending on the market, if you do a detailed market scan in the morning, first thing in the morning, you know what time frames you're focusing on. So after my scan this morning, I noticed that most of the 4-hour time frames were shot. You know, there was no trends there. So why keep scanning the markets if the 4-hour shot and there's no trends on the 1 hour either? The scan that I did this morning, I noticed that the dailies were probably the best time frames out there. So that means I'm just waiting on daily trends to form. And if that means waiting 2 to 3 days for a pullback into the daily cradle zone, that's what I'll be doing. Nice level on RSR, but nothing there. So yeah, that's what's very important to do, a detailed scan in the morning, so you understand what the market is doing and what time frames you're focusing on. If you do your market scan in the morning and the 1 hours are looking really good, and you know we've had a trend, we've had a pullback into the cradle zone and 2 candles up, and then the next one's red. Well, you know that on that 1 hour time frame, that potentially in 2 to 3 hours you could have a nice bullish candle in that cradle zone. So you know that you need to do a full market scan in 2 hours time. You know, I hope that makes sense. Sandpit, nothing there. Sear coin. Let's have a look at this 4 hour. Bit of a trend there. Let's look at the 2. I mean, I think there's better ones out there. We can skip that. SCRT. What a nice trend to the downside on this 4 hour. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's have a look at the 8. The averages there. Ooh, we may have a short option here. Secret perp. And it's not really against the daily trend. You know, we've got a higher high, higher low, lower high. It's not exactly a downtrend, but it's not an uptrend. You know what, I'll throw that in the list for a potential short option if we get a pullback into that cradle zone. I'll want to know about it. 4 hour daily. Nothing there. Shiba needs a lot more work. Yeah, it is really beginning to look weak on these 4 hour time frames, which, you know, in my opinion, I think it's a good thing. I think we do need to see a pullback into those daily cradles, and we'll see that happen first on these lower time frames. Scale, nothing there. I do apologise if my scan is taking a little bit longer than Craig's. I like to do them in a little bit more depth. Pull back onto that level would be nice. Doesn't look like we're going to get that, and the lower time frames need some work. Solana. Yep, that needs to push on higher. SOS, no thank you. Spell, no thank you. Serum. Messy daily chart. If that MACD wasn't divergent, I'd be very interested in that, but it is, so we have to skip. Storm X. No thanks. There's better trends out there, no thanks. Stacks, nope. Sushi. Now it needs to push on. Swipe. Nope, we can skip that. Theta. Looking for pullbacks to levels. It doesn't look like we've got that on Theta, TLM or Alien Worlds. Weird name. Bit of resistance up ahead on this daily. Need some work to break through that. Tomo, nope, need some work. Toncoin. A trend forming there on the 4. I don't like the daily though. I think I can take that out. Mainly focusing on good daily trends. Nothing there. Tron needs to break higher. Nice daily trend on buy lira to the downside. That's a nice trade there. That was a few days ago though. Nothing lower, so we can skip Uniperp. I'll just open this up. See if there's any levels through here for a pullback. And we've got 2 touches here. Needs a lot more work to pull back to that level though. Nothing there on the 4. Potentially an option for later on in the week. Uniswap. Same again on Uniswap. We need to pull back to that level. It's too far from the cradle zone on the daily. Let's have a look at the 12. The trend is shot on the 12, so it's definitely the daily time frame. VeChain. Nothing there. Waves. Need some work. To the gold, no thanks. Nothing there. XMR. Nice daily trend. High, pulled back. A bit more evident if I put it like that. Yeah, very interested if this daily candle closes bullish. 2 hour doesn't, 2 day doesn't look too bad either. Let's have a look at the 12. Can't take it on the 12. It's definitely that daily. If we get a nice daily bullish candle off that level, I want to know about. So that's in the level, in the list. Sorry. I'd love to have a daily long trade on. If we do see some buying come back in. Level through there on XRP. I mean, you could argue that that trend is there on the 8, the 16. Yeah, there's no trend on the 16. We have to skip that. DeFi money. A little bit too wiki for us. We can skip that. Wi-Fi is pulling back into that cradle zone on the 4 hour, but the trend isn't there. Nothing there. ZRX. I was beginning to look good on that 4-hour time frame, but it's divergent on the MACD. Alright, so that's a scan. We do have a few in the list that we can go through. Let's have a look. So Badger, yeah, that higher time frame trade on the daily, same as BNB. Do need to see a nice pullback. Yeah, the lower time frames are ruined. Let's look at the 12. It's definitely the daily. If we do see some further selling off, yeah, that may present later on in the week. FXS was a lower time frame. This 4-hour pulling back into that cradle zone. MACD looks good. Could potentially be an option for today. Mid cap, pull back onto that level, bullish candle, and we're on. XMR, same thing. Filecoin, these lower time frames because it is moving. So this 1-hour time frame is looking pretty good. 2-hour doesn't look too bad either. People perp, nice level through here. We've broken through. A pullback to that level would be good. Failing that, we can, if your style presents, you can focus on these lower time frames, but I personally will be focusing on this 1-hour. A nice pullback off that level would be great. And SCRT was the short option on the 2-hour, I think it was. Yeah, nice 2-hour trend. So that's the list. We've got one short option, the rest are long. Most of them are dailies, but yeah, we do have some lower time frame, 1 or 2 lower time frame options. So thanks for tuning in. If you do have any other questions, feel free to let me know in the questions box. Nothing? All right. Well, I hope you all have a great day and a great week, and I'll chat to you all soon. Thanks for tuning in.